Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us. So I've got one question for you now, and that is, what are the 3 or 4 main lessons relating to your country of study, Lebanon, as outlined in the presentation yesterday?
The main discoveries on Lebanon, the crisis started 3 years ago, so lots has been written, but still we discovered several things that were not well understood. On the rise to the crisis, it has a lot to do not just with a government that spent too much, which is what people believe, but really with an overvalued exchange rate. The whole society was spending too much and unproductively. On the second point, the crisis, there used to be about 20% of GDP in capital inflow coming in every year with no growth for the past decade. So sooner or later, this had to stop, and it brutally stopped. Money was coming into the banks, lent to the state. So there was a balance of payment crisis, a banking crisis, and a state crisis. What we discovered looking at that more carefully is that the crisis was extremely deep. GDP fell by 40 to 50%. And the reason is that businesses could not shift from internal demand to export because they had no banking services and no state services and no energy. And finally, on the way forward, everybody's been very focused on the financial sector. But actually we discover here that the state is in very bad shape. It's only 5% of GDP from 30. And truly, you cannot have an economy without a financial sector, but we conclude by saying you cannot have a country without a state. You have to rebuild the state.